Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Wednesday Facebook Live with GAE. I am Lisa Morgan, a kindergarten teacher and the GAE president.
And I'm Sharon Doe, a physics teacher in Augusta, Georgia, and I'm the GAE Vice President.
Good evening, I'm Carly Shaw, and I'm a physical science teacher in Fulton County, and I am the GAE Secretary Treasurer.
And this evening, our very special guest is our new Executive Director, Dr. Craig Carter. Welcome, Dr. Carter, to GAE, and welcome to our GAE Facebook Live. So we'll give you a moment to introduce yourself. We generally have members watching us from across the state, so this is one way that we communicate with them.
Thank you, President Morgan, and thank you, officers. It's good to be on. It's good to finally be in Georgia. I'm excited to be here. Prior to coming to Georgia as the executive director, I served as the executive director for Louisiana Association of Educators. I also was a manager, field manager there, and director of membership and organizing. And prior to that, I was a UNISERV director for over 10 years in Kentucky. And prior to that, I was an educator and governance leader, as well as a fourth grade teacher in Kentucky, national board certified teacher. So it's an honor to be here, and I look forward to the great work we're going to do with GAE.
So I guess I get to ask the first question. I haven't asked you this before, so I kind of need to know. I always say when we do Facebook Live that I'm surrounded by science because Carly and Sharon both teach science. So were you a science teacher or what as well, or what did you teach and what was your favorite thing to teach?
I actually did. I began teaching fourth grade, and in Kentucky, like many other states of standardized tests and tested areas, science was tested among fourth graders. So I taught science. I was departmentalized, so I taught the same lesson 3 to 4 times. I always felt really bad for that first group that you teach because you learn the kinks throughout the day. And by the time you get that last set and last class, you learn what works, what does not work. So yes, I was, and I was very active with creating science curriculum throughout the state of Kentucky. And I actually was a textbook writer as a fourth grade teacher with Harcourt Publishing as a classroom teacher when they solicit classroom teachers. And I was Kentucky Science Teacher of the Year in 2005, a long time ago. But I really enjoyed teaching science, especially inquiry-based learning. That was at the heart and passion of what I did.
So I'm still surrounded by science teachers.
There's something about science teachers.
Yes, yes. It's science, and we've had a lot of our board members who've been social studies teachers at times. So it seems like science and social studies. We haven't had a lot of math teachers.
So Dr. Carter, welcome to Georgia. And my question for you is, what have you enjoyed most about being executive director in the past, and what have you found most challenging?
Okay, one of the most exciting things about being an executive director is being able to work with governance leaders like yourself, as well as our board of directors, to collaboratively work in a partnership to carry out our mission of our association, the goals. And also another wonderful opportunity is to work with all of our staff. Specifically our UNISERV directors who work day in, day out within the field, working in the face of working with our members. I think that that's something that's critical. They're on the front lines daily, working with their issues, helping with trainings. Those things are really exciting, specifically when you're able to work with staff, train them, and see that they're able to help with our members and working with those members into new leadership roles and positions. So, you know, it's a fine line working in between, but it's exciting at the same time. I guess I would say specifically when it's being able to build the membership, because membership, by building capacity and market share, comes power. And so that's something that's really, really, you know, exciting. When I was in Louisiana, over the course of 3 years, I was able to work with our staff and our governance to build membership by 5,000 new members. And I look forward to doing that exact same thing, Sharon, here with Georgia Association of Educators. One of the most challenging part of the work is wearing multiple hats at multiple times. You know, not only are you an executive director, but you're also managing the managers, managing all the staff, working with the managers and field staff. I've also had to wear the hat of being the legal service consultant and coordinator in the past, and monitoring, you know, our legal issues that come in. But also, I would say one of the most challenging things too is working with our budgets and making sure that we are being good stewards of our membership dues dollars and fiduciary responsibilities that we take. And that can be challenging, but we try to, you know, continue to push the work and make sure that we have programs in which our members can take part in, specifically with professional development, and making sure that we survey our members' needs so that we're meeting the needs and nature of what they need most.
I have a question for you. Welcome to Georgia, but what do you miss about living in Louisiana and Kentucky? Is there anything you miss about being there?
Listen, I had such, Carly, a great staff and great governance leaders in Louisiana and Kentucky alike. Louisiana, I have to say, they have some of the greatest food that I've ever tasted in my life. I think from the time that I moved there 3 years ago to now, I probably gained 15 pounds over the time I was there. Such great hospitality and such great cooking. But I think that's a thing of the South. I see the same thing here in Georgia. So many great restaurants, so much great hospitality. That was great too. Obviously with Kentucky, the Kentucky Derby, that's something that's really huge every spring. I used to always enjoy going to that with my colleagues. And that was something fun to interact with our association members. That was something that was always fun and exciting. So I look forward to pressing forward with new activities and new restaurants and a new nightlife here in Georgia, and interacting with our members doing the exact same thing.
So my question, and I'm going to kind of use this to lead into our first commercial. Did you know you were coming to Georgia to help us move?
You know, that is hilarious. I actually didn't. I have a little bit of experience with that, though. Even when I was a UniServe director, I worked with our management and negotiating new office spaces and designing new office territory. So that's not something that I realized until I got here, working with you, President Morgan, as well as our governance and board. But it's something that hasn't been too challenging, but it's something that's exciting for us too, because we have new office space, and we're looking forward to when things get back to normal, and opening our headquarters back up and having our staff who's in the field back directly working with our members. It's something that's exciting, and I can't wait till we unveil that and have an open house of our new office space and territory here at the headquarters. So it's not been too bad.
Okay.
We told you that GAE was on the move. Now you see we meant that literally as well.
And that is like, yeah, it's like 100% proof. We are on the move, and things are growing and things are changing. We got things going in the right direction. That's for sure.
Okay, so I put the link in the comments because this is my commercial. We are moving, and we have lots and lots and lots and lots of supplies that are stacked up in the boardroom. And we want to give this to our members. I know y'all are all packing up your classrooms for the summer, but come fall, you're going to want the paper, you're going to want the colored paper, you're going to need the cardstock. So come, it's free to our members. I put the link in the comments. Just click and sign up. I don't think there's any time left tomorrow, but there is sign up time for Friday. We want you to come and shop till you can't drop, because you've got so much stuff to take back with you. So I know Carly and Sharon filled their cars when they were here for a meeting. And I know we had some members here today picking up things. So please, members, come shop in our free giveaway, because come fall, you'll want the colored paper. Or if
Thinking
it's
if
like,
you're a new teacher or
yeah,
you just entered the profession and one of our members, there's so many great items that I saw in there, from paper to pencils to pens to markers to crayons to decorations from past leadership conferences. We want them to come and get it.
please come take it. So, Craig, you talked about membership and you talked about membership. So that's one of the things we've been talking about on Facebook Live all year, that we want people to join us because GAE is how we are going to support public education in Georgia. So what are you looking at? What's your plan? How are we going to do 5,000 new members here in Georgia, just like you did in Louisiana?
Absolutely. I think that we have to look at, what our purpose is and what our motto is. And, our motto is that we exist to support, to protect, strengthen those who nurture Georgia students and our children, in which we teach every day. And then we know that anything and everything that we do as an association is for our members. If it's not for our members, then we shouldn't be doing it. So we're really looking at reevaluating our program areas at GAE and what we offer members. One of the most exciting things is management just worked on it this week, and I had the opportunity to set in with you and you joining us as well, President Morgan, and really revamping our professional development in our IPD area and what we offer our members by surveying our members to see what their needs are, what they need the most in the area of professional development. You all have already done a great job. It's been nice to come in to see how you all have navigated what we hope not to be a new normal, but with COVID-19, and being able to still reach out to our members who were on the front lines working during that time. I think that was a wonderful start for GAE. And now piggybacking on top of that, seeing what the needs are as we enter in, they're finishing a tremendous year that's been one for the books, so to speak, with all kinds of navigating hurdles and things around COVID-19, but seeing where we go from here and what our members need the most. We're also working hard with management and providing appropriate training, advocacy training for our field staff that we're excited about. So we have all boots on the ground to make sure the members' needs are met immediately in the field and all of our locals. So that's exciting too. We also have a new manager and director of membership and organizing, and the board has been made aware of this and are excited about it, and that is Antonio Luna. We're excited to have him. He's been working in the capacity of membership and organizing. Now he's going to be managing our field staff and our UniServe directors. He and I met this week drafting, and we don't want to give it away just yet, but some new and exciting fall membership plans as well as spring membership plans. And right now, we have early enrollment going on where any of our, folks and public school employees can join GAE, and they can become members free right now and still take part and receive advocacy from our UniServe directors and receive GAE and NEA member benefits. So that's exciting. And we really want to revamp and educate our membership, President Morgan, to let them know all the benefits that they have available to them that they may not have been aware of before. And so we've got some exciting things up our sleeve too. Maybe a couple vacations we might be giving away from NEA member benefits that President Morgan and I have been working on, and we're excited about that. But we really want to make GAE visible in all of our locals, and we're excited about that.
In all parts of the state, I'm going to say that, because that's one of the things that before the three of us became officers, I think we all heard throughout the state that they don't want us to focus on one area, that we need to be looking across the state from Walker County in Northwest Georgia to Camden County in Southeast Georgia. So yes, that is exciting. Sharon, you're getting all the compliments in the comments.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So, and I did put the link in the comments. If you are not yet a member of GAE, the link is there. Click the link, join us now. Dr. Carter's already told you it will be free until September. And if you have questions, you can reach out to any of us on Facebook and we'll be happy to answer them. And that link is in the comments. So, next question. Okay, no, I'll turn the tables. Dr. Carter, do you have a question for us since you're new?
Ooh, look, you put it back on me. Okay. What do you think is one of the guiding priorities that we're facing as an association as we head into the next school and academic year that we're going to be focusing on, that you all see the most and that our members can be aware of? Maybe it's legislative. What do you see as something that's going to be pressing on top of us?
Our teacher raise that we were promised by Governor Kemp. Gotta deliver.
Okay, yeah, he still owes us $2.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay, and I'm gonna put the plug in there too. Our ESPs need a raise right along with the teachers, and a
Absolutely.
significant one. Yes.
We
Okay,
need a
Sharon,
living
what's
wage.
yours?
And actually, a more pressing one right now is for the superintendents and the local school boards to have our input into how those American Rescue Plan funds are spent in our district, because they have to have those plans in June, at the end of June. So they need to be contacting us now. And I don't mean with a survey. I mean actually invite us to a meeting where you can hear our voices so that you know that we are real people. We are experiencing the impact of what those deficiencies in fundings are leading to.
Okay,
So we can express ourselves and tell them exactly how it's affecting our classroom. It's easy to look at a piece of paper and dismiss what's written on a piece of paper. But when you have to look me in my face and you can see my facial expressions and you can really hear the tone that's in my voice when I'm expressing to you how things have affected my classroom, not just the classroom, also our transportation workers, our nutrition workers, our front office staff, because when COVID came along, it changed everything. Brought new meaning to the words, game changer. Sure did.
you're right. And the thing I always come back to that I've been talking about, it feels like for years, is the waiver system here in Georgia, where all of our school systems, all 178 out of 180 school systems have waived class size. A great many of them have waived teacher certification. They waived the teacher salary schedule. They've waived health and physical education for our students. They've waived English as a second language for our students. They've waived so many things that we all know our students need. So that's my big one. And now, see, now the comments are coming and the questions are coming. Dr. Carter, how do you see yourself working with retired members?
Our retired members are so crucial to our association. Their input, their institutionalized knowledge that they have of the association, as well as education system within Georgia, is very important. I have a very open door policy. I always enjoy working with our retired. I really am excited. I was speaking to our management yesterday in our management meeting, and we are already in the process of working and putting together our professional development of our staff as we prepare for back to school and new teacher orientations, and engagement for back to school for the next academic year. And I very much see our GAE retired playing such a large part in that, because they know those locals, they know many of the families that work there, and the community stakeholders. And I made it very clear that I look forward to working with and bringing in our retired, and our staff and UniServe directors need to do that as well, and helping with that recruitment process. So I open that, just like I have an open door policy for all levels of the association. Matter of fact, I get to meet them tomorrow. So I'm really, really excited to bring greetings to our GAE retired group tomorrow for their virtual meeting. You know, they're an important stakeholder.
Okay.
Speaking of retired, I'm also excited about the plans we have for growing our membership for our early career educators and those that are just joining the profession. I know we really have a teacher shortage. We have an everything shortage. Teachers, custodians, bus drivers. Somebody was commenting that substitute teachers have been very hard to come by this year. So I'm looking forward to pulling in those early career educators and our new to education, as well as our college students who are studying to be, we call them our aspiring educators. So I'm looking forward to really connecting with those two groups, as well as our retired. And I love how the retired will have events that pull the two groups together and help expertise go to these people who are newly being initiated into this profession. So I'm very excited about a lot of plans we have coming up this year.
I think that collaboration piece is very important. I like to think of our retired as our secret weapons, because sometimes when we're doing other things in our classrooms or in our schools, our retirees are the ones who are really carrying the organization and doing the work in the community, traveling to schools when we can't do that. So they play a vital role in our locals and at the state level.
Yes, they do. Okay, we have a question I'm going to answer real quick because this is from one of our local presidents, and she's talking, Sharon, you did such a good job talking about the American Rescue Fund funds, and she wants to know, so is she needing to talk to her school board and her superintendent? And the answer is yes, 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 yes. GAE, we are talking to the State Department of Education about the state funds, but they are also supposed to hear from you about the local plans, and you in your local school know best what you need. So yes, yes, yes. And if you need some help, give us a call. We will all be happy to help you with that. Dr. Carter, you get to repeat yourself a little bit. We have somebody who wasn't with us earlier, but now they asked, where did you teach and what did you teach?
Absolutely. And I'm going to bring into how I got involved in the union work by teaching and what I did. But I taught in Kentucky. I was a teacher for 9 years before I began union work, and was a former teacher of the year and a national board certified teacher. But I taught fourth grade. Taught science, and I'll talk about that in a second. What got involved in the union was actually being a science teacher, but I loved that and was Kentucky Science Teacher of the Year, and loved every single minute of it. I miss it some days, but someone asked me just last week, said, "How did you get involved in the union, Dr. Carter?" One day, it was a cold February day, and I was teaching a lesson. I was involved in the association with NEA as a student member, like I think you were too, President Morgan. I remember seeing a sign up when I was a student that said free chili. And, you know, as a college student and hardly having any money, that was exciting. And I ended up going and learning more about the Education Association and NEA, and became student president of my student group. And that was really, really exciting. But then over the years, when I, started teaching, for whatever reason, one year when I was teacher of the year, I'd let my membership lapse. And it was a cold February day, and I was teaching a lesson on convection and conduction. And the fourth graders, we were going to make hot chocolate, right? So I ran that morning and got all the materials. I was in the rush, like many of our members are, trying to get to work in the morning. And I picked up Nestle Quick. I picked up milk. That hot chocolate was going to be good, hot chocolate. And then I picked up red plastic Dixie cups for the kids to pour the hot chocolate in. And I can see your eyes right now. You all think that was the worst part, but it wasn't what happened that day. So we had already been working several months and knew the lab rules, and the kids did, about, you know, how to operate the Bunsen burners, how to operate the science lab. Well, the first group came in and I taught the lesson, and they worked in their small groups and were stirring the hot chocolate on the Bunsen burners, and everything went off without a hitch. And that second group came in, you know, they were a little more gifted, a little more advanced, so I didn't have to do so much one-on-one with them. Everything went off without a hitch. The third group that came in that day, and you all have taught kids like this, you know, a little more rambunctious, a little more special needs, different behavior issues. And I turned my head a couple of seconds and I heard, ooh, and if you ever hear, ooh, that's not a good sign, you know, whether you're a science teacher or in any classroom. And as I pivoted and looked up, and it was some part of my fault, because as I was stirring the Bunsen burner earlier to fill the warmth of the ladle, the metal ladle on the cheek, making sure it's not too hot, two of my kids had the metal ladle and were holding it up by each other's cheek. And as I looked up, they had third-degree burns on their cheek. And I panicked. I could just see in a matter of seconds, Craig Carter, Science Teacher of the Year, burns students. Craig Carter loses teacher certification. Science Teacher of the Year hurts students. And I panicked. And I ran to a veteran teacher, just like our GAE governance leaders here, Vicky, who's now a member of the retired group. And I said, Vicky, this has just happened. And you know what the first thing came out of her mouth, President Morgan? Are you a member of Education Association and a member of NEA? And I said, well, I used to be, but I don't know if I've let my membership lapse. And she said, Craig, if the incident occurs prior to membership, you don't get legal representation. You don't get GAE representation. And my heart sank, even though that I was in Kentucky during that time and a part of KEA. So in a matter of seconds, it didn't matter that I was a national board certified teacher or that I had won awards or accolades. That didn't matter. What I learned in that span of a week, and even the superintendent had put me on the front of the brochure as their Teacher of the Year, I learned in a matter of seconds and days that a school district has a legal obligation to make sure that students are protected first legally, and that the district is protected first. Otherwise, employees are at the benevolence of their administration. So not only did the state police come in and interview me that week, and I had a paraprofessional put in my room to make sure that I didn't harm students, but I learned to become a member of my education association and my state affiliate in NEA, so that I would have UNISERV director representation, so I would have state governance leaders like yourself that have my back, so that I would have an attorney and have free legal services in case I was sued, or to protect my certification. That's how I got involved truly in the union. I went back to law school. I joined the local association. I got involved in my state affiliate. I became a building rep. I went to a leadership conference, right? A leadership training like we're getting ready to have for our leaders here in GAE. And I learned and I became involved and I became immersed to take pride in my profession and to take ownership in it. So that's how I transitioned out of the classroom and into union work.
But the kids were okay, right?
They were fine, yes. And actually, one of them, you know, she may be watching today. She's one of my Facebook friends, and I'm sure she'll never forget that day. And I saw her since then and have joked about it. And she said, you know what, Mr. Carter, because I wasn't Dr. Carter then, I was Mr. Carter. I wrote a personal narrative on that for one of my classes. I said, that will be interesting to read one day, you know, but they knew, and the parents knew that, you know, I didn't mean to do anything intentional, nor the kids did. But it just, you know, something can happen, Sharon, just in a matter of seconds. It doesn't matter how qualified you are, how many accolades you have. This is why you always need your union and your association to have your back. And I think that's something that's always been my story of self and how I got involved.
Let's face it, nobody goes into work thinking, hey, I'm going to go make a mistake today.
Mm,
Things just
True.
happen.
Mm-hmm.
it does. Okay, so after that story, I've put the link in the comments again, because if you are not a member, you need to join this evening. And I also put the link in the comments for our Leadership Development Academy that's coming up June 7th through the 9th. And I said this last week, and I've said this to every group I've talked to this past week. If you are watching us and you are a GAE member, you are a GAE leader, and we want you to attend. We're going to have lots of great sessions about organizing and membership and legislative and your legal rights and bargaining. And yes, we can bargain without a contract. So all of that will be at our Leadership Development Academy. The link is there. We want you all to sign up. So Carly, I know you're going to be doing a session at the LDA.
We're doing one about being a treasurer and keeping a hold of the funds and making sure that you do meet your fiduciary responsibilities as a member and as an officer. And we're also going to be talking to secretaries about how to be a secretary. What is it involved, and what type of records do you need to keep, and how do you keep those records? So I'm excited about our session.
Yep. And I'm going to say Sharon and I are going to be talking with the presidents and the vice presidents. And the thing I want everybody to know, you don't have to be the president or the vice president or the secretary or the treasurer already to attend our sessions. Sign up and learn about it so you don't have that experience that so many of our people were, where they get handed the shoebox. Yeah, Craig, you know that's happened to people before. They become the treasurer, they get handed the shoebox with the receipts. So if you know what it is going in, you won't be quite as stunned when they hand you the shoebox. So we have lots of comments and lots of people watching us now. I was looking to see if we have more questions.
Well, I have a question. Since we learned about what led you to become a member of the union and get involved and become more active with the union, I wonder, what is your why for going into teaching? I always ask this question, and it's always interesting to hear what led someone to become an educator.
Such a really, really good question. I've always been a people person, Carly. So I've always loved helping other individuals. But I would say I had a wonderful, wonderful fourth grade teacher, Miss Mary Ford, who inspired me. I remember struggling with mathematics as a child. And she had a way and a warmth and a delivery that made me not dread that time of day when that subject was taught. And to know that, you know, I might have had strengths in other areas, but you know, it's okay to have weaknesses too, and that we overcome those weaknesses by learning at the very essence of what we do every day. And her influence in my life made a difference. I had a high school teacher, too, Miss Esther Ford, who believed in me and saw things in me that I didn't see within myself, and telling me that I had leadership capabilities and abilities to compete in public speaking and be a part of the speech and debate team, and was real inspiring to me. So when I graduated high school, I knew I wanted to make a difference, and I wanted to have an influence in the next generation's life like those ladies had in my life. And I wanted to be, on the flip side of that, I think about great teachers I had, and I had some teachers that may not have been so great, but at the same time, I wanted to be the type of teacher that I never had. And I think that that was exciting and inspiring to me. And even though that I left the classroom, Carly, I take pride in knowing that when we help our members, we help students. And I think that that's something that is very, very exciting. And when I say help members, when we help paraprofessionals, when we help secretaries, when we have, help our cafeteria workers, I'm able to reach, and we are as an association, a broad spectrum of public school employees, help administrators, all of these different folks, all of our members that make up GAE. And that is exciting. And I use that same concept of making a difference and brought that into the same association and union work in my role as a UniServe director and my role as a manager, and now as an executive director, still making a difference. And that's inspiring.
We all remember those teachers that really touched our hearts and touched our minds. And unfortunately, we remember those teachers who weren't as positive. I'm sure when you said that, everybody had one come to their mind, because we've all experienced that. And those of us that became educators never want to be that teacher to any of our students. So we have to tread very carefully so that we don't have that experience or cause a student to have that experience. So it's nice to be inspired by former educators.
It's true.
Definitely. We've got some interesting comments, and I'm not going to read the one that one of our local presidents did. We're just going to have her on later so she can explain what her comment meant.
Oh,
Yeah, we're just going to wait and let her come on and explain that, because I don't even want to attempt it. So, Dr. Carter, Craig, you're going to have to call me Lisa. As we move forward, we've got, I want us to talk about what we're going to be doing so that we aren't stuck here in Tucker now that hopefully we're coming out of the pandemic. So where do you envision us moving once we can actually go out and talk to people again?
Well, one of the things that's been really exciting, and I've been following GAE for some time, and even working in Louisiana as the executive director there, I've been very pleased how you all have advocated for safe learning environments, and I think that should be commended, and you all should be commended for leading our members in that direction. But now that the vaccines are available and things are starting to open back up, one of the most exciting things to do, and I enjoy being an executive director, but I never ask my staff and our staff to do anything that I'm not willing to do with them. And I have a history of that. And that's the type of executive director I've always wanted to be. So I look forward, President Morgan, to you and I joining each other and being out on the road to work with and see our members and meeting our local governance leaders. That's something that's so crucial because they are the face of GAE within their local associations. We can do all the great things that we've been doing at the state level, but going to see those things in fruition on the local level. And you and I got to see a wonderful example of that just this past weekend. We were in Clayton on Friday night at their wonderful membership appreciation end of the year event. They had a drive-through, but still had a great attendance. And then we got to attend the Gwinnett Association of Educators. They had a wonderful picnic in the park, and we were able to join our UniServe directors and both of those locals and our local governance leaders, and really be present and hear all the great things that they had going on in their local. So I think that's something that's really, really exciting. One of the things I like to do is do a fall worksite tour and a winter worksite tour where we work with our government relations director as we start going throughout the state to allow our members to be a part of that process too, to know what our legislative priorities are, but also be able to see their faces and to hear what they have going on and what we need to do a better job in advocating for them and to see what they need accomplished. I think that's what it's all about. GAE is our members. If we don't have members, we don't have a state affiliate.
I like what you said about you wouldn't ask anyone to do anything you're not willing to do. I think that collaboration piece is really, really good, and it's really, really going to be good when we go back and start really recruiting members on a face-to-face basis, because here again is that personal contact that I think is so important. And I want to know what motivates you, because sometimes some locals go through a slump in membership, especially when the pandemic hit. And when you find that the membership is kind of at a plateau, what motivates you to keep going? What motivates you to get out there and try again and get out there and just keep going every day?
What I love about my job and working with our staff, there's always issues, right? There's always things to focus on around issue organizing. And that organizing piece is at the heart and the root of who I am. It was who I was as a teacher, leader. It's who I was as a UniServe director. It's who I was as a manager. And it's who I've been as an executive director. And I think that our staff is a little shocked at that at first. You know, my staff was in the past, but then they were like, wow, you know, Craig gets out here in the field and works with us. And I think by modeling that to our staff and being present to our local governance leaders, it creates a new culture and a new environment. And I think that's something that's really, really exciting, because when you are very present collaboratively within the locals, you learn what they're facing. What they have going on in regard to those issues. And then it gives me the opportunity to bring it back to the headquarters among the state affiliate as we work with our program staff, Sharon, and work with our state president and you all, vice president, and, you know, secretary and treasurer. And we are able to plan things on the state level to ensure that our members' needs are being met. And I think that that's the critical piece, because folks want to belong to a state affiliate and association when they know things are happening and things are occurring. No one wants to pay membership dues to something where they know nothing's happening or occurring. And we certainly here at GAE have a lot of things occurring and happening, and that's exciting. And I'm excited to be a part of that.
I'm already pumped about having face-to-face NTOs.
Yes.
I have missed that so much, the face-to-face, even in the classroom where we've been isolated this year. Even at our own schools, we've still been isolated. We've been meeting on Teams and we haven't had that personal connection. And I know it's so important when we meet with people and we can tell them our story about why we joined and what GAE means to us and how it has affected our lives. That makes such a difference to someone else that is listening for the first time or is contemplating joining a organization. And that tends to get them to move more towards GAE and NEA. And once they realize how many benefits they can get from us on top of membership, the member benefits you get as well, they are just overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed. I still don't know all of the wonderful benefits that there are. So it's just telling your story is a big deal and it really pulls people into our association.
I couldn't agree more. Absolutely.
Okay, commercial plug time again, because that's one of the things at the LDA that you can learn about is there will be a session on member benefits. And I must have attended, I ain't even gonna try to count y'all how many member benefit sessions I've done. But every single time I learn about something new, every time. So I'll plug LDA again. Sign up, join us, and learn about your member benefits then. Because everybody can save some money. And member benefits will save you money.
Absolutely. And listen, if they take part in all the member benefits that they have available to them, and as they learn like we have, it's really a wonderful opportunity to earn your dues dollars back to where you almost pay nothing.
Yep.
When you were talking, you mentioned partnerships and community partnerships. Could you elaborate a little bit more on that in terms of how we can get the GAE name out there and be more visible in our community and our state?
Oh, absolutely. You know, I think I had the opportunity just last week to work with some of our coalition partners. I like to call them all the ABC groups, right? But it was a wonderful opportunity to foster those relationships, even while we were working with the Department of Education here in Georgia. But I think we can even go closer, Sharon, on the local level to where, you know, our rank and file members can work with their locals to really attract potential members as we work in the community, meaning doing community service projects and giving back. And a lot of our locals already do that. And I've been working and going to continue to work with our staff here in Georgia to capitalize on that, so that, you know, even as a state affiliate, we can highlight some of those great partnerships that the locals are building locally with their local associations. And it also helps when they're working on issues around organizing, because those parent groups, those community groups can join the fight and the stance of amplifying our voices locally to bring about change and to protect the profession, which is critical and important. And many of our locals are doing that. And I look forward to fostering even more of those partnerships, because it makes us stronger.
Yeah.
Stronger together.
Yes.
I like that hashtag, stronger together.
And the thing is, when we think about those waivers I was talking about earlier, I mean, is there a parent alive that's going to say, I want my child in a class with more students, or I want my child to have less health and PE instruction?
Well, we had an education secretary that thought that, and we got rid of her.
Well, yeah. I don't think she wanted anything to happen in public education, though.
That was a darn shame.
Yes. And since you brought up something depressing, Carly, I'm just going to go ahead and depress us. Yes. So, but there is good news. So, Dr. Carter, we do this every week, and we talk about the number of children in Georgia who have had COVID-19.
This is the part where Lisa depresses us.
Yes, 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 yes. But we have to do it because our children are still getting sick because they can't be vaccinated yet. My babies aren't eligible to be vaccinated, and people are still spreading this disease. We've now had 103,011 children birth to age 17 in Georgia who have had COVID-19. I guess the glimmer of a silver lining, for the first month since last June, the daily average in May is below 100 children a day. So it is finally going down, and we're finally to less than 100 children a day on the average being testing positive. So it's getting better for our kids, but that's something we're going to have to look at, because we've been saying all along we have to follow the CDC guidance, and we're going to be going back into our buildings, and everybody wants to be back in our buildings, everybody face to face. But if our elementary students still aren't eligible for the vaccine, we still have to protect them, because children are still getting sick. So I'm through depressing us. Let's talk about something else exciting and happy and coming soon. And that is, how many days are left, Sharon?
Until Friday. Our students are already gone.
Oh,
Friday is our last day, but our LDA starts June 7th, and it's June 7th through the 9th. And we want as many people as possible to go ahead and sign up. It's a short jot form. And I think you're going to find that the sessions we offer, not only can it be applied to GAE and your work in your local, but the things that you're going to learn in those sessions can be applied immediately in your everyday life.
Well, I'm happy.
The best thing about our LDA.
okay. How many
I'm
days?
happy because today was my last day with students. I had a wonderful group of students, and I have finished my 25th year of teaching. So today was a good day.
Your 25th year and you're done. Yay!
I'm done. Yay!
I know many teachers are packing up for the year. And Sharon, once the children are gone, don't those days just seem to fly by?
I don't know. I try to always stay busy during doing something in the community. Always have ties to the community. Always doing something. So I don't have that. I don't see where the time flies by.
Okay.
It's
So
kind
we
of like the weekend. Everybody or people say the weekend is like lunch break because it's so short. Even as summer is short compared to the 9 months we're in school. So it is, but thank goodness for the small break we do get. And it's a wonderful time to refresh and recuperate and become invigorated and get involved in your local so that when you come back to school, you can be the AR in your building and start recruiting more members.
Yes.
So this is a great
Yes.
time too, if you're traveling, to use member benefits. There's so much you're going to learn at the LDA. We just want you to come and get that knowledge and start applying it right away.
and
I
some
just stay so busy. I don't even notice the time because it's just one thing after the other, one thing after the other. It's like one long day sometimes.
okay, we had someone ask. I put the link again in to register, and yes, the LDA is virtual this year. Hopefully, this will be our only fully virtual LDA, but it is virtual for this year.
It
And
has a cool theme.
oh, we haven't even
GAE.
talked about that.
No, we haven't. We actually fleshed that out this week, and it's really cool. You know, looking at all the work that you all have diligently completed and navigated through this, unprecedented year, is that with GAE, the mission is possible, and it's focused around the 3 R's of resilience, reinvention, and rejuvenation. So as we navigate looking for great leaders of our local associations, it's going to be exciting as we accomplish those 3 R's in this training, with multiple opportunities to learn about several workshops that will be applicable for your local to go back and really rejuvenate. The exact word that we have is one of the R's, your local, as we build stronger infrastructures inside of GAE.
Because if you think about it, we are rejuvenating the LDA. We haven't had an LDA in a while. When was the
No.
last time we had an LDA?
Is we had, I think we were in I think 2014, maybe 2015. We had a short one, and then we had a couple of regional Saturday mini things. But it's been about 5 years. Yeah, I think we're past time, and I think we need to get the members to have that again, and it becomes just tradition again that everybody knows we're going to have the LDA and everybody's excited and wanting to attend. Yep. Somebody said she's the queen of reinvention, but she could definitely use some rejuvenation. And I think that's it. I think we're all at that point. We all are ready to, Craig, you said unprecedented. I'm tired of unprecedented. I want some precedented times, okay? I want some
right?
precedented times. So, but we're all ready to be reinvigorated and rejuvenated for a new year. And, we can take off our masks and we can see people again, and everything won't be focused on a pandemic.
I like that theme. How did you guys come up with that?
A lot of stakeholders in here, several managers, as well as President Morgan together. We threw several of them around. She's shaking her head, but it was the one that she liked. And we were excited because we thought what would best sum up of what we would want our governance leaders to be, and those 3 R's: resilient, reinvention, and rejuvenation stuck. So, and we're gonna have some good door prizes too. So it's gonna be fun for everyone that attends.
No,
I love a good door prize.
Right?
yes. I know. Carly will tell you, Carly is the queen amongst us of coming up with the cute themes. Mine, I can hear it and say, oh yeah, that's great. But yeah, Carly's the one with that, and Sharon's the one that keeps us on track.
Yes.
So that's how we work together. And somebody commented that GAE members will love Dr. Carter. Yes, we do already, and we're keeping him. You can't have him back. Okay, so just let me say that right up front. We've brought him, we've kept him. He's ensconced, and he's not leaving us, right?
No, I'm here for a long time.
Mhm.
For the long haul.
That's
Yes,
right.
yes, yes. Okay, and so we're getting more questions about the LDA. And yes, I think everybody will be eligible for the door prizes, right, Dr. Carter?
Everyone, yes, and we
Okay.
want everyone. I put in the chat box again the jot form, so we want our members to sign up, our folks.
Yep. And so if you're presenting one session, you attend the other 2 sessions. We will have lots of great sessions, and we will have the door prizes. Oh, and I have to tell them about our speaker, our keynote speaker to open the LDA is Kimberly Scott Hayden. She is the National ESP of the Year. So yes, so I am so excited. She will be here opening our session, talking about our theme of GAE Mission Possible and the 3 R's. And so we're very excited about that. So we want everybody to sign up. And our time is running short, y'all. We always do this, and we talk right up to the very end. Just to let everybody know, we will not be with you next week, and well, the next 2 weeks, because then June 2nd and then June 9th is the LDA. So we will be back with Facebook Live after that. And I will put in the comments also, if you missed our Rights at Night session last Tuesday about our voting rights in Georgia and Senate Bill 202, I will put that link in the comments for you, because we got lots and lots and lots of great information there about how voting is changing. And we know there are special elections right now, so our members need to know what they need to do to vote right now. So thank you all for joining us this week. Dr. Carter, thank you for being with us. And we will see you all June 16th. Have a great beginning of your summer, everyone. Good evening.
Good night.
Bye, everyone.